Okay, I might as well get started here. Hello, my name's Milo. Hope you're doing well. Today we're playing Frogatto and Friends, which is an indie game that I guess is still in quote-unquote active development. The last significant update to the game file itself was in 2013 or late 2012. But there's still a trickle of, development chatter on the various outlets that they have for that. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? New game, story mode. Arcade is like a series of little challenge, mini challenge rooms, which is fine, but I want the story. That's what I want to do. So let's do it. So this is Frogatto. He is a cute little frog with a funny shaped head that splits open when his tongue comes out. Ah, what a beautiful afternoon. Oh geez, I overslept. And yeah, it's a little side-scrolling adventure game kind of thing. Not that I need to be up, but it's the principle of the thing. Here's Pato's room. I'm going to steal that coin that belongs to Pato. Oh, the music got a lot louder during the levels, but that's okay. Levels still look okay. Audio levels, I mean. Alright, here's our friend Pato. Pato? You say Pato, I say Pato. Let's call the whole thing off. Hey, how's breakfast coming? Breakfast? Bud, we're on lunch. You need to get up earlier. Okay, then how's lunch coming? Get in there. It's gonna be a while, though. I'll check back later, then. How about now? Okay, same thing. And Frogatto lives in a cute little house with a fridge and a water cooler. Whatever you call those things. Oh wait, there was a run button. Double tap to run. Yeah. Ooh, big coin. I like that. Old-timey TV. Lovely. Hey, Frogatto. Yes? At least try to get a job today, alright? We need some help around here. Yeah, I know. I'll try. See to it. Jeez. Always on my case, that guy. Just because I'm a lazy good for nothing. Ah, the Frogatto Grotto. Nothing to see in my backyard. Hello, Gibbon. How are you doing? Gibbon says Frogatto is an interesting name, and the art style looks very evocative of the Mario and Luigi Tomato Adventure art style. I knew I liked it. That's probably why. Ooh. Oh. Nice. Okay. Well, we can only go one place so far, but yeah, that's what strikes you immediately about this game, the beautiful look of it. Such a beautiful view from here. And of course we can swim. Frogs can do that. Oh, he's like a little Rayman character, actually. No limbs. Just separated hands and feet. That's cute. But yeah, look at the art. Beautiful stuff. I know. I can stop in at Nene's house on the way to town. Cool. Yeah, that's a particular strength of the team, I think. Oh, okay, well, let's read these. On this level, we give advice on how to play. Each question mark has its own hint. If you already know how to play, then just walk to the next level. Probably good to introduce everything. To save your progress in the game, use one of these convenient restrooms. Will do. That was quick. He barely needed to go in at all. Some changes in elevation are too high to clear with just a normal jump. Fortunately, Frogatto can jump off walls too. To do this, do a walking jump into the wall. If you bump into a wall at the crest of a jump, you'll cling to the wall and slowly slide down. If you didn't get a running start, you can still cling on if you tap the arrow toward the wall, then press jump whilst it's held down. Whilst you are clinging to the wall, pressing jump will make you rebound off. This is especially useful if two walls are facing each other because then you can rebound over and over between them. This lets you ascend vertical columns. That was incredibly wordy. That's probably more detail than they needed to go into. If you've seen a conversation before, it might be annoying to have to read it again. You can skip a conversation including parts of cutscenes by pressing the escape key, and yes, this applies to the question marks on this level too. Great. I've mapped that to my controller here, so that'll work. Frogatto's world is a dangerous place. In his travels, you'll encounter many creatures who want to hurt you. It's often fine to just avoid them, but if you have to fight, Frogatto's best defense is his tongue. You can grab enemies with a tongue and then spit them back out. Once spat out, they become a deadly projectile. If they don't hit anything, they'll be stunned momentarily, and then will flip upright again. Whilst on their backs, they're vulnerable to being stomped on. Sticking out the tongue and spitting are both done with the attack key. There are a few ants just ahead, feel free to try this on them, and don't worry, if you die you'll restart right here. So in the controls there was tongue and attack as separate buttons, but I don't know, that's just told me that, yeah, the tongue button is the same one. Oh, there's money fruit, that's nice. In this world, money really does grow on trees. A very useful fact is that you can control the direction in which enemies are spat. If you hold down the up key while pressing the attack button, you'll spit in a high arc. If you hold down the down key while pressing the attack button, you'll spit with very little force. You should also be aware that not all enemies can be grabbed with the tongue. Different enemies present different challenges and you need to get creative to deal with them. Also, the tongue can grab useful items like keys. That's how you carry them to lock they open. Yeah, so that's a very Yoshi's Island style interaction. Eating things with the tongue and then spitting them back out as well. Also reminds me of Klonoa, Daughter Phantom Isle, and those other games in the series. Although when Frogatto hears an enemy eaten, it's a bit more like Kirby where he's all puffed up and fat. I guess Yoshi sort of holds it in his mouth, so his mouth bunches out quite widely. Fountain's another water dispenser, very helpful. If you drink from them, you will restore all your health. That is good to know. Well, I haven't lost any health, so I guess a way to interact with them will become evident when it's needed. Yeah, the game controls well. I like the sense of momentum that Frogatto has. If you haven't already noticed, the red fruits you sometimes find nested in the grass as better projectiles, find many subjects, crates or nuts. Ammunition. Note that you have an unusual property. If you use them up, they respawn, basically. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, lovely little burp sound effect. Certain bridges and stairways like this one allow you to jump up and pass through them. Yes, you can also jump down through them. So hold down the down key and then press jump. Cool. Already figured that out, thanks. Maybe I really didn't need to go through the whole tutorial level. As you play through the level, there's coins, buy stuff, there's a store outside of town. Okay, cool. It would be good to use these. Dangerous terrain like brambles. Oh, brambles hurt enemies too. Okay. Yeah. An anthill. You can't destroy it. Yep, that's life. Oh, those are ants. Yeah, of course. So there's red ants and black ants. They sort of look like little pigs, but ants works. Frogs eat ants, don't they? Surely. That's it for this tutorial. Have fun. That's a good advice. More to playing the game. The rest we can let you learn on your own. Yes, indeed. Okay. Yes, so there's going to be some more dialogue here. Ha! That's Nene's house right up there. I assume that the different colours have different behaviours. Like maybe the red ones fall off a platform. Oh, what's this? Okay, so underwater we have a bubble blowing attack, just like Kirby again. That's what Kirby does, right? But there's like mechanical fish beetles. That's interesting. Okay. So there must be another way to get up. Oh, I thought that was a wall. I was trying to go under and around the house or something. Alright, let's see Nene. Nene is a squirrel? Locked doors. What are you hiding, Nene? Ooh, oh yeah, the crates. The hint markers told me about that. These people have big houses, man. Alright, hello. Hey Nene, what's cooking? I'm making cake. Would you like to have some? No, I better get to town. I have serious business to attend to. Oh, well, maybe before you go, you could look at my basement. Your basement. Yeah, here's the key. There's some ants down there. I've been meaning to get rid of them, but I just can't find the time. And now they've gone and ruined a whole sack of flour. I know, right? So you showed up and I thought, hey, maybe you could be a gentleman and help me out here. Yeah, that sounds opportune. How much were you figuring on paying for a pest exterminator? Well, sheesh, I thought you'd do it for free for a friend. But if you're going to be like that, I think I left a health capsule down there. If you can clear it out, it's yours. Also, come back and talk to me when you're done. I might have something else for you. Ooh, lighting effects. Dynamic lighting. Or possibly it's just a layer of semi-transparent pixels over the foreground there. Either way. That's one of the graphical tricks that this game does. Oh! The crate familiar was about to blow up. Okay. Alright. So, oops. Wow, this place is falling apart. I really don't like that sound. The burping sound. Okay, so we dealt with the ants. We got a heart capsule. Got the HP up. That's excellent. By the way, I love wall jumps. That's a really cool feature. I love crouching. That's a good feature too. Frogatto does not push his hands up against the wall when you walk into it. You really did do it. You rock! Here, I have another little surprise for you. Is it cake? Ha! No, it's quite a bit better. It's a little souvenir from the IDF. It's a fire talisman, and I'd like you to have it. Wow, that's awesome, but why on earth are you giving this to me? It's a bit much for getting rid of a few ants. Honestly, I'd originally meant to give it to you as a birthday present. I just never got around to it. I don't need it myself, and I know you get a lot of use out of it. So happy, rather belated birthday. You know, I'm really lucky to have friends like you. Say, that wouldn't also happen to be birthday cake, would it? What? No! Ah! 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 Sorry, that was my cat jumping up to my lap and digging her claws in very hard. If you want to sit here, I can lift you up. Come on. She's happily playing with her mouse. Toy. Oh, you little rascal. Alright. We can breathe fire now. This is very little range, but it's damaging. Ah, so that's what D does. Okay, it swaps between tongue and fire. Which drains my mana bar. Thanks for taking care of those ants down there. Of course, I don't disappoint. Thanks for the gift, by the way. You're welcome. Naughty cat. Remember last stream where she was just sleeping peacefully on my lap the entire time while I played? Why can't we just go back to that? No, she's in frisky mode now. The vet said like it's important to set routines so you have playtime and not playtime, but like at the moment it really seems like it's up to her. But I'm trying to encourage cycles of behavior. Anyway, a moment of your time, sir. Sorry, I'm off to town. Not interested. But the town, you see. Not interested. Buzz off. I don't care what you're preaching. Go sell to someone else. Very well. That guy was standing on their wings. Someday these door-to-door people will realize what kind of that kind of hard sell tactic just annoys people. The sooner the better. Oh, Frogatto, you should have listened. That sounded important. Let's go. How big is this town anyway that he doesn't know everyone in it? Splash Hop. So I guess the different screens have names. That's nice. In an old school kind of way. I heard people sort of comparing this to an Amiga game. I know the other games that I've played so far this month have been, you know, except for Jazz Jackrabbit, have been modern games that deliberately evoke a specific style of older generation games. This one is not quite so specific, but it's certainly reminiscent of older retro things, and they make a point of that in some of the marketing for it. But it doesn't have that specific reference point. But if you were going to pick one, I guess Amiga would be as good as any in terms of sort of 16-bit-ish, almost 32 pixel art with... She's looking at me. She's looking at me. She's going to jump. Here, I'll pick you up. Well, nope, she doesn't want to be picked up. Where's your mouse? I'll throw your mouse for you. Oops. Oh. Go fetch. Yeah, that's our new game. Throw the mouse toy, she chases it and brings it back. She doesn't always give it to you though. She expects you to take some initiative. Yeah, so the reason I'd heard of this game was, as I said earlier, it's by the creators of Battle for Wesnoth. Now, that's a game that I know very well. I played it a lot earlier when I first got my own computer, and also when I lived at home on the shared computer. Me and my brother would play quite a bit of it. After a while, I sort of got more interested in not so much playing it as sort of breaking the game down a little bit. So when scenarios got too hard for me, I would go into the game's files and look at all the data for them and sort of read off there to see what was coming up ahead. And even in a few cases to change some variables by editing the data files of the game to make it easier on myself. And that was all perfectly doable and encouraged because it's that game is open source. It's very much driven by user-created content as well. So a lot of the official campaign packs in the game were started out as fan creations that the official team then came in and adopted them and touched them up or whatever. But by the same token, there's plenty of user campaigns in that section, the downloadable section, that are as good as the official, quote unquote official campaign packs. And I say, quote unquote, because the whole thing is open source. It's made by a shifting team of people doing it on a completely volunteer basis. And everything for the game is just created ad hoc by volunteers, whether it be the campaigns, the scenarios, all the graphics, which there's some extremely talented people on the graphic side who work on that game. It uses a sprite art style, but there's also portraits for characters that are just amazing. Okay, so we're gonna eat some bombs. Oh, did that rebound? Do I have to time it? Or maybe hit higher? Seems like these blocks are gonna get broken eventually. That definitely hit. Okay, good. Oops. I wonder if my fire attack would be any good. No, I can't aim it up, unfortunately. Okay, the timing is really tricky on this. Also, that bomb hit me and did nothing for some reason. And sometimes they're sticking in the ground, sometimes they're just exploding. I don't know. Okay, that was a good hit. Nice clean hit. Cool. I don't know who that was, but okay. They were attacking me, so I had to do something about it. Are you quite alright? Yeah, who was that guy? One of Milgram's henchmen, no doubt. They may have seen me talking to you. I can't be sure. Wait, what? Milgram? What's he doing on this side of the island? You still haven't heard, then? Milgram's men showed up early this morning in town. They've taken the whole place hostage. Unfortunately, I don't know the details. I just flew out of there as soon as I could, looking for anyone who could help. That certainly changes my plans for the day. Wow, I'd sure like to help, but I just don't see what I could do. I don't think I can promise anything, but if the opportunity presents itself, who knows? Yes, it's unreasonable to expect someone to just charge in there. I'm at a loss for a plan myself. Nevertheless, I'd better be going. Hopefully we'll fix that bridge soon. Impressive how fast they can do that with modular construction and all. In the meantime, you might benefit from visiting the fellow who lives here. Bit of a recluse, but he's quite sharp. He lives on top of this rock column. And I get up there how? Simple, just take to the air. You do realize I can't fly. I think he may have been teasing me. Yes. So we just press up and then the fountain gives us the health. That's easy. Yeah, so Battle for Wesnoth. Like I said, I sort of progressed to looking at game files, and then eventually I progressed to mostly just hanging out on the forums, just lurking, not really contributing much, but keeping track of the projects that were happening, and especially watching the new art that was being created and the new scenarios for stuff that looked interesting, just from a curiosity standpoint. After I had, stopped playing it as much. Alright, who's this? Hello there. Hi, I'm Frogatto. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Mortimer. That's nice. I hope you don't mind my asking, but what on earth are you anyway? Ostensibly, I'm a mole. I was going to say armadillo, but yeah, the mouth is weird, but okay. Perhaps more importantly, I'm a bit of an astronomer and biologist by trade. That's why I live all the way up here. You can see quite a bit from this height. And I guess you have these ants in cages to study them? That's right. Unfortunately, my collection lacks the rarer golden ant. Oh, what a shame. You know, you look rather well-traveled. If you could bring me a golden ant and stick it in one of my cages, I'd reward you handsomely. Handsomely, say. I'm on it. Now, did I see one of those already? Well, we can certainly keep an eye out from now on. Funny how every house has a front door and a back door. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's the... okay. The steam engine that drives those rope platforms. And it hurts you because it's hot. But just note the animation work on these moving platforms. Beautiful stuff. Oh, so good. Given says, ah yes, lurking forums, good stuff. Ah, missed. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for golden ants. And just progress, I guess. I still need to find that shop, of course. Ah. Rockefort. So yeah, I like to keep an eye on the projects that were happening and see how they progressed. And especially, I kept a sort of collection on my hard drive of those portrait artworks that I was talking about, because I just really loved some of the artists. And by the way, I didn't say, but Battle for Wesnoth has a medieval fantasy theme. You know, very Tolkien, Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. Elves and dwarves and orcs and trolls, and merfolk and naggars and lizard men and obviously undead. And drakes, they were cool. Very low piercing resistance, but high slash and fire resistance. Everyone had different attributes, you see. Oops. Oh, okay. Something I gotta do up there. Nope, that's not it. Oh, there's a cave exit here. Good stuff. Oh, that looks dangerous. I don't think it's quite a golden ant, but it was sort of yellowy in color. Whoa, flying plant. How interesting. Is that the wrong woe? Oh, wow. Not gonna get mad about that. Not this time. Yeah, so Battle for Wesnoth is really cool, and this game is made by some of the people who worked on that, including the lead sort of the developer on it, the guy who like originally came up with the concept. I believe he's the one who also did the concept for this. Although I didn't memorize it all. I've got 3 names here of the core team for Frogatto, and that would be David White, Richard Kettering, and Guido Boss. And I believe Guido Boss is the sort of lead. He definitely came up with the scenario and characters for this game. And David White is sort of programming, and yeah, and they all do a bit of here and there, but you know, it's a collaborative effort. And many other people are involved as well. That's just the core team. But the idea for Frogatto was to deliberately keep it smaller and more compact, and not have it be as sprawling as what Wesnoth is, with its multitude of content packs and contributors. Oh, golden ant. Alright, now what? Oh. So you can't swim, really, when you've got an animal in your mouth, or a projectile. You just sink. So that's going to present a little problem there, isn't it? I wonder what this handsome reward is, and if I really need it. Because I could backtrack. At this point, anything I get from here, I won't be able to take back to that house, unless there's an upper path that I can fall down from. That's possible. Alright, I'll continue then. But I'd rather get to the ending than really do everything I can in the game. If we're on a time limit, which of course we always are. Ow. Oh, okay. Didn't know that was possible. You can re-grab an enemy just after you spat it out. Oh, wow. Okay. That was a very loud noise. Thank you. Ow. Sorry, I looked over at the cat instead of concentrating on the game. A worthwhile trade-off, I'm sure you'll agree. Can I bop on these? No. So to get up there, I don't know. I would have to drop an enemy there and bop off them. These ants aren't that threatening. I do have that fire breath that I'm not really using, but I find the tongue more versatile and also more fun because it then gives you a projectile to use afterwards. Again, in the manner of Yoshi's Island and Kirby and Klonoa. Physics! Yeah, so I mentioned that the game hasn't really been updated significantly since 2013. Development on it started in 2010. And they put out a 1.0 at some point. The 2013 date is for the 1.3 version, which added and fixed a lot of stuff. But yeah, since then there's been updates on the blog and stuff, but that's kind of dried up too. They say that now the best way to get updates for it is through their Discord, although the Twitter seems to be reasonably actively updated as well. And it's always retweeting stuff of people's new and updated work on the game, sprites that they're doing and stuff like that, and new gameplay features. So all this is planned, and evidently has been for at least 5 years. 2013. Gosh, that's 7 years now. Blech. But yeah, none of it has come out in an official update yet. Aha, the shop at last. So let's talk to the shopkeeper first. What a weird looking fellow. Some kind of vegetable person. Hi, Chapel. Hey, welcome to the store. Take your time, look around. Blue crosses, that might be for magic, which I don't use much. A green thing. The tongue extender, that sounds great. 70 coins, it's a bargain. Let's do it. Hey, that's better. Just give me more health. Extra health point, 40 coins. I can easily afford that. Great stuff. Now what about this? Crystal Talisman, mana recharge. No. A different crystal. Okay, yeah, different powers. Well, there's nothing else to spend money on, and although I'm not using mana right now, I can afford it, so I'm just going to buy it and move on. Oh, wait, what's this? Whoops. 1 coin for a health. That's fair. Even though the fountains are free, but okay. Yeah, this game kind of reminds me, you know, in terms of the kind of general setup, reminds me of things like Shantae and Mina of the Pirates, which is something I played recently by Konjac, one of the predecessors to Iconoclasts, in that you start at your house on a little beach and then you go through this sort of rocky beachside and you end up at a village. Oh. I was trying to leave that screen, but I guess I warped to the village. God, I caught you. You better be aware of this. But I haven't been to the village yet, have I? I don't know. Anyway, you better be aware of this. The cave that leads into the town has a sentry posted in it. Milgram is trying to seal off the town so no one gets in or out. That might have been why he tried to take out that bridge. If you're thinking to go in there, you might reconsider. Well, yeah, I was going to go in there. I mean, what are we going to do? Sit on our butts here? No, but I was hoping we'd go in force. Against Milgram? Really? I mean, on paper, that sounds like a good enough plan, but I'm going to be a jerk here and poke some holes in it. Fair enough, I'm not particularly fond of it myself. Firstly, Milgram's got lots of followers. Tons of them. He runs an entire city. I mean, even with... He said, I mean, to start a sentence like 3 times now. And first of all, that just irks me in general, but... repeating yourself so much like that is not a good thing for a script. Anyway... Even if we arm the whole town, they'd grossly outnumber us. Plus, they're pretty mobile too, planes and such. We might get the drop on them for a bit, but we get surrounded in no time. Brute force against brute force won't work. We'd be like a bull butting heads with a freight train. Yes, oh dear, I see what you mean. It's got to be something we can use to our advantage, but numerical superiority isn't it. These are good points, but again, seems a little wordy. Anyways, about the cave ahead. It's just one guy, right? To my knowledge, yes. Maybe I can talk my way around him. Worst comes to worst, I can just run for it, right? I do hope so. Good luck. Alright. Oh, so I think that's the warp panel I just used. So that means that I just got to the town. And I warped to the very place that I was. That's fine. As long as I didn't miss anything. 5 coiny coins. Love it. Gibbon saying that it puts him in mind of Shantae as well. And also Monster Boy is like that. Yeah, Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. I recently bought that myself on sale. What the? You're an intruder, aren't you? No? There's no fooling me. You look like a very suspicious character. Could you just step aside? I need to take care of something in town. Well, I can't let anyone pass this gate. Without this key, you're not getting anywhere. Okay, will you please lend me that key? No way! Over my dead body. We can do that. Oh boy. Oh, there's 2 of them. That owl said there was only 1. Ow. Oh. This one has a bazooka of some kind. But we won't see what it does. Hey, over here. Oh, good. You made it through there in one piece. Yeah, those goons had a little ambush set up. That's right. It was an ambush. That's why there were more than I expected. So now what? Well, as you know, the town is split into two halves. By the way, check out Frogatto's sprite here. He's standing on a slope, so his legs are angled. Because he's standing there like that. That's cool. And Milgram has this half of the town locked down tight, and he has most of the residents held prisoner. They're tied up inside the houses, under guard. If you free them, I'm sure they can help you. Makes sense. Your big problem would be that the gate connecting the two halves of town has been locked, and I don't think there's a guard next to it, whom you could steal the key from. In fact, I don't think there is a key. I think that door might be machine controlled. I don't know where the controls would be, though. I'm not from here, after all. Asking one of the prisoners is probably our best bet for a clue. Cool. The elevator house. Uh-oh, I hear trouble. Bop, boop. Oh, you know what? I can't eat these guys. This is what the fire is good for. Okay. That one's just gonna run at me. What? It's kind of a weird optical illusion. The walls... Yeah, no, that's part of the sprite. The walls are bowing inwards. That kind of disturbs me. It's not like regular enough for it to be a cartoony aesthetic effect. But it sort of is, but it's not going far enough, I think. It's really... It's weirding me out! The walls! Oh wow. There's a machine. It's spitting out little versions of those creatures. Oh, I'm out of mana! Lucky I bought that talisman, eh? Now that I'm actually using it. Wonder if I can eat those box things. Yep, cool stuff. What are they? They're like Balrog from Cave Story. Just a walking lunchbox. I swear this house didn't look this big from the outside. Good call. I missed. Oh, I missed. Did not get a chance. So that's what the bazooka fire looks like. No sound effect. Well, let's continue exploring. So, much like Wesnoth, this game is cross-platform, as well as being open source. So, like I said, the development strategy for this game is different to Wesnoth, but it still is open source. And it's available for Mac, Windows, and Linux, as well as other things. They made a port of it for iOS and put it on the App Store. But that was a while ago, and it's since been taken down. It's run out of compatibility. That's how you say that. It's run out of compatibility. It seems I'm trapped inside this house. I guess the only way out is in. Fair enough. Yes. So... Oh, and there was also a version for BlackBerry, apparently. And maybe for Java phone as well, but that might have been referring to the BlackBerry version. I'm not sure. But yeah, that surprises me. I don't know if that one is still available. If you have a BlackBerry, go check it out. Anyway, it's probably... if it works, it might not be the latest version, you know. What? What happened there? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. This is decidedly unpleasant. You don't say. When I stepped in the door, it locked behind me. That's actually a rather clever way to round everyone up. Know anything helpful about this house? Unfortunately, I don't. I was just visiting. Floor plan is quite loony. Marvelous ventilation, though. You don't say. Anyways, I better be off. I'm trying to sort out this mess. Good luck. I don't know what these switches are doing exactly, but it must be something good. Yeah, so the availability platforms you can get it on are... is it on Steam? It was on Steam Greenlight. It's definitely on the Humble Store, although there's no actual page for it on the Humble Store website. But you can buy it through this like Humble Store purchase widget that's on the Frogatto website. Because I think at the time that they released it, there wasn't such a thing as there wasn't a Humble Store thing, or as an option. I don't know, whatever. Point is, you can buy it. Just go to that website for the details, and that'll have the most up-to-date thing anyway. And I think it's $10 US. Oops. Ah! Cat is batting at my feet. Ah! No claws! No claws. Stop. Here, let me throw you a mouse. You want this? You want this? Yeah. Isn't it so tempting? It's over there. She's so keen on that little mouse toy. The fan house. Okay, right. That's why it's called the fan house. When I came in, I was like, fan house? Maybe someone here is a fan of me. Nope. That's not what they meant. They meant there's lots of fans. Yeah, that's funny. Ooh. What do we got? Monies! Love it. Can I bop the cannon? I cannot. Ouch. So this will be the key to the front door. Wonder if there's a way to free that penguin fellow. Ow. I'm not a big fan of the swallowing sound either, if I'm honest. It's a bit gross. Like, it's a bit too much, you know? Too forceful. I never liked that kind of sound, even in real life. That's just me. Okay, so let's hightail it out of here. Hey, buddy. I guess there's no way to save this guy. Nope. Oh well. See you later. This way, I think. Nope. Back up. Eh. Cool. So what was that? I went in there. I got a key to leave. I didn't gain anything. Maybe I go some other way. The owl said talk to the prisoners, and I did that, but I don't think I got any useful information from that penguin. And this was the elevator house. Did I go down in here? Ow. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Hello. Thank God it's you. Hey, Hedge, you alright? I've been better, but yeah, I'm okay. Besides the obvious cage situation. Yeah, sad to say I can't pick locks. I got nothing. So I'm stuck here, huh? Yep. Phooey. You know, I know one thing that might help you. There's supposedly a secret room in this house. Oh, really? Where at? If I knew that, it wouldn't be much of a secret, would it? Figures. Well, thanks for the help. Good luck. Okay, secret. Secret room. Let's hunt it down. Ah! Ran out of fire just when it was useful. I don't need no lifts. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. Dope. Wall jumps, wall jumps, wall jumps. Yeah, so I mentioned the Humble Store page. It was also published on the Mac App Store, which I believe it's still available there in version 1.3, which is the most recent released version. There was some discrepancy that I noticed. It's like 1.3.1 is technically the most up-to-date, and one of the one of the releases does not isn't up to there. So I guess be careful where you get it from. But the differences aren't that major between 1.3 and 1.3.1, I think. Sorry, the cat is now doing something else silly. So there's a little what do you call those, like door snakes that you put at the bottom of a door to stop drafts and stuff. So we have one of those leading from the garage, which is as much to stop drafts as it is to stop spiders from getting in, which was a bit of a problem for a little bit there. Hope I've put an end to that for now. So she's taken to attacking the door snake now and treating it like her personal toy. She's wrestling with it. She's dragging it around. She's biting it. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. Who are you? I'm whatever the occasion calls for. That's nutty. Yes, well, at this particular juncture, who I am isn't very important. What's important is that I'm not in a cage, so I might be able to do something to help. So he knew the other guy downstairs, but he doesn't know this rabbit person, which is odd because they're in the same house, although they don't necessarily live in the same house. They might have both been imprisoned here independently. Anyway, I might be able to help you. Got any advice? That key unlocks a house that has controls to the town gate, maybe. I've seen it one time. It's in the house up and to your left from here, up in the cliffside. Way upstairs is a control room with a big button to open it. Keep an eye out for it. What about me? Does it look like I have a key for your cage? I see. Carry on then. Fair enough. Alright, that was complicated, but I have to take this key to a house to the upper left of here where there's a button that opens the town gate. So it seems like I won't be able to free any of these people here. For a game called Frogatto and Friends, I'm not really helping my friends very much, except for Nene at the start. I do like all the character designs though, they're very cute. They're very interesting and varied. Okay, up and left. So that's the path that I went before, but I completely missed those two people in cages. Okay, so I'm gonna need this key. Up and left in the cliff. Ah, it opens the door. Good. The Danger House. Lucky Danger is my middle name. Frogatto Danger the Frog. Oh. Haha, never mind. That is a bottomless pit inside a house. No wonder it's called the Danger House. What is that rattling noise? I guess it's these cannonballs falling down? That sounds a little inappropriate for what it is. Should be a heavier sound than that, right? You know what I mean? It just sounds like a chain rattling or something. The flame is so short range. Oh well. Gibbon says he thought that sound was coming through my mic. No, it's just the slightly odd sound design in this game, I guess. Could you hear the cat like wrestling with her toys? She's not doing it right now. I don't mind if it gets picked up. It's not. It's harmless. Wow, this room is very dank. There we go. Gate open. It's your mouse, honey. We can play the mouse game if you bring it to me. Nope, it's resting time. I don't know if I mentioned this, but my cat is named Midnight, and I named her after the character from Twilight Princess, who is one of my favorites, and I was really glad to be able to play as her in Hyrule Warriors. Sorry, I thought that was the way down that I just had to keep dropping, but I forgot there was a pit there. All right, through the gates we go. Yeah, Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game, and Midna is part of the reason why. She's an excellent character, a great, probably, yeah, well, definitely the best helper character in any of the games. Oh, oh! That's my foot. Hello. Ah. Hello. So what now? Seems like some of the kiddies are packing up and leaving, actually. That's news to me. Why'd you see that? Never mind. I'm just trying to figure out what their intentions are. Well, I saw one of Milgrim's lieutenants, march up to the Elder's house. Weird. I wonder what they want of the Elder. I have a notion, but if you're going to go up there, you'd better go whilst the going's good. That's like this game has also used the word whilst a lot, which is just a quirk. I can't say whether it's used it correctly all those times, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. That's my toe. What? Hello. You think my toe is one of your toys? It's wrestle time, apparently. Uh-oh. Okay, what kind of voice does this guy have? For the last time, we know you've got the money somewhere. Make this easy on yourself. Okay, what voice does this guy have? Snooty Frenchman. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Brooklyn. Are you absolutely sure about that? No, I'm not a lad. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm just scared here. This French accent is going really badly. I've never been threatened like this. I just can't think straight. Go on. God, this is horrible. If you just follow me, I'll lead you to it. Oh, no, you don't. You're not going through that door first. I'm not that stupid. Now listen up. You're seriously testing my patience. This is really bad. You're gonna sit down and tell me, oh, hi, what's going on here? Who the hell are you? I sometimes ask myself that question. I don't have to put up with this. Excuse me whilst I vent a little frustration. Man, my voice. I should practice my dumb accents more, I guess. Ow. So yeah, this is the... We've had a couple of occasions now when Frogatto has sort of talked about himself and what kind of a person he is. The marketing material for the game describes him as quixotic. They definitely use that word. And I've seen... Well, I recently saw the Terry Gilliam production of The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. Otherwise, I'm not that familiar with the Don Quixote story, but that's a pretty... like, in addition to its subversive elements and its meta elements, it's a pretty faithful reproduction of the story itself in terms of its things, stuff, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so the word quixotic comes from the story of Don Quixote. That went better than expected. What happened to the Elder? Ooh, secret doorway. It is indeed. It is my very own safe room. I built it for exactly this sort of crisis. That's amazing. I guess I have to ask, whatever prompted you to build this? This had to be expensive. I mean, real expensive. Yes, it was. And what? For crying out loud, would you not play coy with me? This has been a really crazy day and I'm fresh out of patience. I set out for just a routine errand run, you know. Just gonna run by town, check the news. Next thing I know, people are shooting at me. I want to know why! And from the conversation I just overheard, I know you have something to do with it. I insist. It's the least you can do to thank me for saving your hide. I suppose you're right. You bet I am. Oh boy, where do I start? And why don't we start with, who was that guy asking about money? Well, I am the mayor after all, and mayors are well endowed. No, don't do this. Not today. I'm not putting up with your usual stuff. Please, I didn't know this game had language like that. That's interesting. For such a kid-friendly facade. Yeah, okay. Please just stop playing games, okay? Don't convince me that you're actually crazy. Are you done insulting me yet? Nope, not until you answer my question. Seriously, I'm on your side here. I just my butt fighting that guy off. I know you're trying to hide something, but throw me a line here. Maybe I can actually help you? Okay, what have I got to lose, eh? I'm afraid if this gets out, the town might blame me for this incident. See, some years ago, a Milgram approached me with a proposition. He was going to invest a sizable amount of money here. Wait, did he think you were actually the mayor? Yes! Wait, what? I thought he was the mayor. Oh, maybe he's not? Whatever. No, he is. He just said before. But what is he talking about? This happened in the past before he was the mayor. Sorry, I might have missed the line there. Whatever. It's a scam. He's making a claim. Do you know what a usury is? Not exactly. See, Milgram was being what's called a loan shark. He gives me money and then he just decides what I owe him. Then I owe him more money than I could ever repay. See, then he can just take whatever he wants as payment. He's going to use this as an excuse to take over the town. Okay, I guess that sort of makes sense, although it's a bit convoluted. You're telling me. I'm confused. I don't see why he'd need an excuse. If he wanted to take over the town, he could just do it. No, you always need an excuse. Otherwise, no one will support your claim. I didn't know. Yeah, so first of all, the swearing. Now this game is getting into like dodgy money lending and politics, and wow, this is quite deep. I think we should form a militia and bring the fight to Milgram. I don't think that's a good idea. Let's not jump the gun here. If you ask me, we need to hear Milgram's side of the story. Talk it over, see if we can reach some mutually amicable agreement. I don't think that would work. I sure do. Cripes. Tell you what, I'll do it. I'll go talk to Milgram, get this all sorted out, okay? I just think this is a big misunderstanding and I'd rather not see anyone get hurt. Well, if you say so, I suppose I can't object. In fact, it might be a good stalling tactic. Why, I'll even show you the way. So, I've unlocked this gate here. Finally, a chance to use your degree. Sorry. Yikes. Through there is the way to where Milgram lives, if I remember right. One way to his castle will take you... this will take you over a bridge, then through an underground passage. Wash your head in there. Past that, and you come to the forest. I haven't been there in a long time, so I'm not sure what to become of it. I'm rather out of date on my political geography. This is terrible. Why does this guy have to talk so much? So I have to use his stupid voice so much. Blah blah blah. Maps. Give me the maps. You're on your own. Good luck. Before we part ways, one question. What are we planning to do about the rest of Milgram's army? Hey guys. Oh, the penguin got free on their own. Okay. Your problem is solved. Milgram's crew. So that captain guy was not Milgram. Well, that was my assumption scuttled right there. So they all hopped in the airship and left. This game is incredibly wordy. They let him out? They let them out. Yeah, so the story is complicated. Oh boy, there's so much talking, but it's kind of interesting. Another mild swear. Okay. So yeah, that was like a really long way of saying what's going to be happening, but I kind of appreciate it because sometimes it's just like, go do this thing because you're the game designated hero, so you go do the thing. There's like, they're really trying to justify why things are happening the way they are in this game. The Captain Cat tried to dice me up. We wouldn't be having this conversation if I hadn't gotten better of him, so all's well that ends well. He's really repeating the stuff that the Elder said to another character to get his take on it. Okay. Trying to get his money back. Oh, wow. I've never heard any of this. That's not his voice. What's his voice? Never. He's bragged about being rich, but that's just his dignified family shtick. He's such a miser, you know. The man would probably burn his furniture just to save on firewood. Real Scrooge type. Oh my goodness. Okay. Investment, building things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this was already established, but now he has to tell this other person that he's doing it. I don't even know who this guy is. We just met and now we're working together. That's cool. Whatever. That's fine. Alright. I can play the game again now. Good. Good, good, good. So I just mentioned Scrooge, which made me think of the Muppet Christmas Carol. So I did a little bit of searching because I've been doing some Muppet stuff recently. I watched the Muppet movie again. I played Muppet Movie Adventures on Vita. And while I was at it, I checked out Muppet... What's it called? It's called Muppet Race Mania on the PlayStation 1. I was considering streaming it at some point, but after playing it myself... whoa! Okay. Stalactites can kill you. Sounds like somebody cracking their knuckles. They just fall down. Oops. Speaking of falling down. Oh, so cute. She's just kind of fallen asleep at my feet. Well, glad she's not bothering me. If it makes her happy, that's cool with me. Anyway, so after playing Muppet Race Mania myself, I decided it's probably not a good game to stream because it's just so hard. Like, it's really difficult to make any kind of progress. But I was really impressed by the actual game itself and the structure of it. It's like... it does the whole racing adventure thing that Diddy Kong Racing was doing, but like really well. It doesn't have a hub world, but it incorporates adventure elements into the courses, although you do them on a separate mode. So there's like race mode where you can do laps with other people, but you then do adventure mode on the same maps where you're just driving around and searching for hidden things and nooks and crannies, picking up all the objects that are around and stuff like that. It's really interesting, and in addition to race tracks, there's battle tracks and stunt tracks, which have a different camera perspective and are much more focused on like almost platforming, I would say, technically driving your car around through these very technical and tricky like arrangements, going off jumps and all sorts of things, half pipes, just to get through. And it's really, really hard. I played it for a while, but didn't really manage to unlock many characters at all. So I think if I streamed it, it would be too much just me struggling and restarting and not really getting anywhere, which would be frustrating for everyone. Bloop. Yeah, take that. Let's use the fire for a bit, shall we? So, but what I do like about it, in addition to the structure of the game, which is really fun and cool and different, very different from other racing games I've played, especially mascot races like that, it uses as its basis the 6 Muppet movies that existed up till that point. So, you know, the Muppet Movie, Great Muppet Caper, Muppets Take Manhattan, and then the Jim Henson one, and then the Brian Henson ones. Christmas Carol, Treasure Island, and then Muppets in Space as well. And each one has these 2 tracks, 1 battle track, 1 stunt track, based on different scenes and locations from the movie. Unfortunately, they don't seem to reuse music from the movies or like many specific characters, but it's still fun. It's a good idea for the basis for the content in the game, and the way they arrange it by movie, and then there's the different locations associated with it. It's pretty cool stuff. I'm just trying to think of whether Treasure Island or Christmas Carol is my favorite. It's really hard to pick. It's definitely one of those. Possibly because that's my generation, or I really do think they're better movies that hold up better. Because there's a lot of dated stuff in the old ones, and Space is just kind of weird in some different ways. Let's have a look at what the world map looks like at this point. Oh, the teleporter's not working. Okay, whatever. Fire? Nope. Well, okay. So yeah, that Muppet Race Mania has been on my list for a while, but I think I might take it off. Unless I pair it up with something and just do a bit of a play around with it. Because it's got some really interesting concepts to it, and I think it's worth checking out. So consider that my recommendation. Nuts. Literally nuts. Ha 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 ha. Waka waka. But yeah, I was thinking about Muppet stuff as well, because one of my little research projects when preparing for this was to look up other games starring frogs. And of course there's quite a few, if you know anything about the history of games, because one of the oldest video game protagonists is Frogger, of course. Oh, I'm about to die. Does dying send me back to a save point, or are there checkpoints? The hint at the very start of the game said that if I died, I would start back where the hint was. So that implies that there's checkpoints, but that might have been a one-off thing. So I'd better try and find a save point if I can. Rabbits and squirrels. I like how, you know, there's something about their visual design that is very similar to the ants that we were encountering earlier, which tells you something about the gameplay function that they're going to fill here. Please give me a health drop. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Oh, what's that? That's a scary looking critter. Okay, there's my save point. Wonderful. Alright. Now I can continue without fear. So when you think about frog protagonists, of course, Kermit comes to mind. Maybe one of the more famous frog characters in media. Kermit the Frog from the Muppets. And he's been in a few games. Not many good ones, unfortunately. I mentioned Muppet Movie Adventures on the Vita, and that's certainly not among the good ones. It's weird and not good. Oh, explosions. Okay, so save point it is. That doesn't necessarily rule out there being separate checkpoints. Ah, what? Oh no, she's awake. She's gonna be bothering me. Okay, she's pretty chill. Ow. But the last one that I really want to try is Muppet. What is it? It's like a horror-themed Muppet game on the PlayStation 1. It's a 3D platformer kind of thing, which, you know, there aren't enough of those these days, so might as well check out one from when they were the dominant entertainment form, right? Gibbon's asking, is this like a what we've done so far build of the game? Because this seems rather lengthy for a demo. Oh. Oh. Well, I'll explain in a minute, but we've just run into a scene here. So this must be Milgram. Oh, what's his voice? How about... okay, this guy is Canadian. Well, at any rate... No, I can't do Canadian. I'll just let this scene speak for itself. I'll summarize. So he's working out what his henchmen are doing, and it's very, you know, yes, very in-depth maneuvers and operations. Oh, that was it. I really thought there would be a point to that scene, but okay. Yeah, so Gibbon asked if this is just a demo. No, this is this is a build of the game that is I finished, quote unquote. It has an ending. They're just still working on it and adding stuff to it. It's kind of like early access, except I don't know. It's hard to explain. They are selling it on multiple storefronts, you know. So I think you could consider it a finished game. It's just that over time, they're still going to change things and add to it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a middle point between early access and completed game. Sort of middle access. It's not really a model that you see very often, to be honest. But as far as I know, there was a demo at some point, and I downloaded it at the time when I was into Wesnoth. But that was a very, very long time ago. According to the information I had, by 2010, they had a finished build of the game that represented, you know, a quote-unquote complete product. And they've just been adding to that since. Yeah. I still think clearly it needs some work. If nothing else, a bit of editing for the dialogue, because it's a bit lengthy. The cutscenes are quite wordy, and maybe they could be more efficient at conveying the information there. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting to have a game that's sort of a cutesy platform game, but with a more complex plot. I mentioned Iconoclast before, and that's sort of a very similar situation, actually. It's not that it's talking animals, but the art style is, yeah, really kind of cute, appealing characters in pixel art form, but an extremely deep and mature story that is at slightly at odds with the look of the game, you know, the colorful style. But that's... Having said that, I don't think that has to be the case. Like, I say that it seems at odds, but it's only because a colorful style of game is traditionally known for having simple plot. But it doesn't have to be that way, and there's no reason it can't have a more deep story to it and characters and stuff. So it's not like it's a kind of inherent conflict or contradiction. It's just not what you'd expect from the medium. But that's interesting and good, and it sort of moves the whole thing forward, really. But anyway... So what I'm saying is Frogatto is doing a similar thing to Iconoclast, but maybe not doing it quite as well. Alright. Limestone Caverns. I'm done reading all this out because there's a lot of it. And I'd rather play more of the game. What have we got? Ooh, a Force Talisman. Great. So we'll have a new ability. Harmful energy. Ooh, homing. I love that. Let's do it. Oh, this one's gonna work. Thanks. Bon Bosque, Foreboding Forest, Crevice Village. Yep. Okay. So I think we're in Bon Bosque by now because that's where the cursor started. Yep. All right, let's test out a new power. Whoa, nice. Oh, okay. It's going to cancel projectiles. That's kind of problematic actually, because then we're not damaging the thing that's shooting them, and now we've run out of energy. So yeah. Yikes. Ow. Cool. So yeah, oh gosh. Oh good, there's checkpoints, great. I hadn't confirmed that in my mind up until right then, so that's good. Okay. So I mentioned frogs, frog people. Who are the famous frogs of gaming? And I wouldn't call Kermit a famous frog of gaming at all, actually. He's a famous frog of television and movies, but his games really aren't generally that good. And it's definitely not what he's known for. So in terms of famous frogs, you think of Frogger, of course. I mentioned that already. Frogger's had tons of games over the years. It was a Konami game, and as Konami has continued and survived, they occasionally try to revive Frogger in some way. And it's usually... In fact, I think every attempt to revitalize the Frogger brand has been tremendously unsuccessful. Back in the day when it was popular, it got a lot of clones as well. So there's a lot of other frog-themed games with similar gameplay, and also games with similar gameplay that aren't frog-themed too. But it was an easy kind of shortcut to say this is a Frogger clone by making the protagonist of your game a frog. So there's things like Lady Frog and Toto and tons of other stuff like that. But yeah, Frogger's had his own 3D platformers in the PS1, PS2 era. I don't know what the more recent ones have been like, but there's like ones where he's a realistic looking frog, ones with 3D graphics and stuff. There are some that expand on the original Frogger concept, probably in interesting ways. I do not know, haven't really tried them. I just know that it's a huge franchise that never really got beyond its original game in the popular consciousness, you know. So I haven't seen anywhere where this key could go. And that was a dead end up there, wasn't it? I'm going to double check so I don't have to backtrack too much. Because I could still climb these branches. Nah, that's really it, isn't it? Can't get further than that. Alright. So we've got to backtrack to find out where this key goes to. And the owl didn't even have to swoop in and tell me that that's what I had to do. It was communicated through level design, I guess. Given says that he loves the Frogger series. That's good, yeah. And has followed it as it evolves. He says the more modern games have mostly been reduxes of the original concept. Frogger 3D for the Nintendo 3DS was the best of the recent batch. That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, that would work really well with a double screen format. Because the whole game's vertically oriented as you move upwards. It'd give you a longer view of what's coming up, I guess. But then if you're the expert here, which I'm treating you as, what would you say is the Frogger game that is not in the original style of the first game that is the best? So what's the best like 3D platformer or whatever else? Now I'm trying to remember. I played Konami Crazy Racers on the GBA, and I don't know if Frogger was in that or just in the sequel on iOS that has since been delisted and I can never find a copy of, unfortunately. But he's kind of a Konami all-star, although not in too many of the crossover games like, you know, Track and Field for the DS. What else? The YY World series, which Konami Crazy Racers is like part of, that started with a platformer on the NES, 2 platformers. That's one I want to stream one time, actually. That should be good. One of the main characters is a female android, which fits in with a sort of theme that I end up doing a lot, which is finding games with lady robots in them. I'm interested in that. Anyway, Frogger. Gibbon responds to my question. Says, good question. Hold on a second. He says he likes the GBA one a lot. Oh, the GBA one. What's the gameplay of that? As for console ones, which one is the one where Dr. Wani is trying to turn the swamp into what I'm convinced is the Kremling source? Because that game is pretty decent. I'm assuming that's a crocodile, judging by the name. Wani is Japanese for crocodile. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Give Frogger a proper antagonist. That's good. And it's another swamp dweller. It's very appropriate. I might just be saying that because of the Muppet movie. Anyway, I had a big list here of... Oh, I never said what the definition of quixotic was. Sorry, I started that thread and then I forgot to really define it. So according to a couple of dictionaries I checked online, quixotic means extravagantly chivalric or romantic, which is more literally from what the character of Don Quixote is in the book. But it's also sort of derived a meaning along the lines of idealistic, whimsical or capricious, which again all sort of describe him. And what else? Unrealistic and impractical. So, okay, here's another meanwhile. It was horrible and green. I've never seen anything move that fast. This is the Brooklyn guy, but I've given up on the accents. Okay. It stumped on your head, and I know because it's a decision I've been regretting. It seemed like a cute idea at the time, but it's turned out to be a consistent point of failure. So, like, he created the cat people, and now he's upset that their heads are too stompable. Huh. A surprisingly level-headed villain. What? He's philosophical too. Being nice will prevent most threats from even happening in the first place. There is a good life lesson for you. And it tends to do one thing that cruelty and aggression doesn't. It makes friends. Wow. Well, it's a good thing Frogatto is going to talk to this guy, because if we'd gone with the mayor, then things would have got out of hand. He seems like a reasonable person. Okay. Given saying, imagine a Count Dracula K. Rool, and you've pretty much hit on Dr. Wani's design. That sounds interesting. You got me interested in a Frogger game. Maybe I should do Frog Month at some point. Anyway, let's go on with a list of other frogs that I thought of and researched. So let me see. Oh, I guess to put a button on the whole quixotic thing, going by that definition, you know, hopelessly impractical, idealistic, excessively romanticizing things. Do you think that that description applies to Frogatto as he's been depicted throughout the game so far? And I would say... I don't know. He's not as extreme a Don Quixote type as Don Quixote was. But I suppose part of that description might apply. He's not impractical. If anything, he's quite practical because He's the one who suggested going to talk to Milgram instead of things getting out of hand. Ugh, curses. So I don't know if that personality is really carrying through to what we see in the game. He's certainly a character. Money! Gibbons dropped a link to a picture of Dr. Wani. Huh. Okay, it's a bit more cartoony than I was expecting, but yeah, he's really just like wearing a Dracula cape and waistcoat. And then underneath it, he's just a crocodile standing up. That's interesting. Pretty fun design. Anyway, yeah, what do you think? Do you think Frogatto is quixotic? I think more like laid back would be a good description of him so far. Wow, there's a lot of danger in here. Like at the start of the game, they were really presenting him as kind of a slacker. Whereas Don Quixote is, I don't know, if almost the opposite. Like overly proactive. But anyway, let's talk about other frogs, shall we? So what came to mind for me quite quickly was the Battletoads, of course, who, you know, frogs and toads, similar enough. But also, part of their backstory is that they're human teenagers who got transformed in a virtual world or something into the toads. Part of a heart capsule. Okay, it's a heart piece. This game has heart pieces too. That sucks. I was hoping for more health, but I'm not going to get it right now. But yeah, I don't know if that backstory is something that was just in the animated series pilot and like the comic and hasn't really carried through into later games. Because I'm not up on all the lore. Oh, okay. Achievements! Ah. Yeah, this is tough. But yeah, they're definitely among the more famous gaming amphibians. If you don't know the Battletoads, it's a series of beat-em-up games. Mostly in the 90s. They're kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle rip-offs. Made by Rare. Had a notoriously difficult game on the NES, and then a series of follow-ups, a crossover with Double Dragon, and an arcade game that featured a fair bit of crude humor. No, I'll use my magic super weapons. I forgot about them. Ah. Ah, the spiky shells are immune to the super weapon. That sucks. Hopefully the fire still affects them. But these dropping bugs just... Ah! They're relentless. Alright, who else? So one that's come on the scene pretty recently is the Frog Fractions game, which is sort of a parody game, sort of. It's masquerading as an edutainment game themed around frogs, but you find out that it's full of crazy secrets that take you into different genres of game, and Frog Fractions 2 also exists and is even more crazy, including an ARG, and is just, yeah, kind of an insane unfolding experience from what I've heard. Although I'm not really sure how much it contains frog characters in the way that these other things that I'm talking about do. And speaking of that, I think the last most famous one that I thought of was Super Frog, which I brought up on a previous stream. Super Frog. When was I talking about that? Yeah, it's one of those old style Western platform computer games. It was probably during Jazz Jackrabbit because it's similar to that, where there's pickups and collectibles just littering the landscape. I thought of James Pond as well, but apparently he's a fish, not a frog. It's a bit hard to tell from his character design, which is overly cartoony. I can't fly! Oh, that's funny. Special contextual death. Interesting. This is quite dark though. Huh, it doesn't look as dark on the stream preview. How many frames have I dropped? Not that many. My internet's going really well today, unlike some previous streams. That's good. Alright, so I can't fly. The bridge is, I guess, out. So what else can I do? Try and jump? Can't jump far enough. Oh, okay. So there's a big chasm. There's a lot of ways into the chasm. Ow. I can keep descending. Oh, what? Okay. How did I get here? I came from up there, so I'll go this way. But I won't fall. I promise. Huh? Wait. I think I might have been wrong about where I came from. Oof. That was some classy moves. No, surely I came from here. Wait. What? No, I'm lost. Oh, okay, here we go. This is new. Ah! Alright, okay, so that's the way. Good. Yeah, so let me see. I picked up some other examples of frog games from research. Oh, Gibbon's saying, Gibbon's weighing in on the Battletoads thing. He's saying, rather than calling them rip-offs of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he would say that they are lampooning them, sort of parodying or satiring them. That's an interesting... Yeah. Okay. I can see that, for sure. But it's one of those things where it's parodying them while also being a good example of them. So it can be taken with or without irony, kind of thing. Naughty bats. He says they're kind of intentionally taking the smeg. Yeah, I can see that point of view. That's good. Asking if I came across Froggle at all. Froggle. 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 No. Is that a frog-based boggle? Oops. Dang it. Wow. The checkpoint kind of saves your complete state, even including the projectile that I just spat out, and whether you're holding something or not. Interesting. No, but you did just make me think of Zuma, which is a PopCap game that I've played a lot. It's actually a rip-off of an earlier game. I don't know what did it first, but it's the kind of thing where you're kind of sitting in the middle or off to the side. You're spitting colored orbs at a trail of orbs that is moving slowly around a track, and you have to make matches. It's essentially a match 3 game, but with, you know, these wrinkles to the way the levels are structured and stuff, that makes it interesting and exciting. But yeah, your character in Zuma is a frog. Sometimes it's something a bit more abstract, but well, it's kind of a frog statue, if anything. They have a kind of native South American look. Another 2 heart capsule pieces. These crazy bombers are everywhere. Ow. I don't think I could stay around and deal with them unless... What? Oh. It died. Cool. I do like this little... this idea of having these contextual dialogue pop-ups. It doesn't interrupt the gameplay, it's just like Frogatto commenting on stuff that's happening around him. That's really cool. I like that. Nope. Tell me about Froggle. Oh, okay. It's a small indie game. It was one of the, well, he says it's one of the big DigiPen games when Gibbon was there studying at DigiPen. Contemporary with Tag the Power of Paint, which is the team that got acquired by Valve to work on Portal 2. So what is Froggle then? Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one. It's a 3D game. You're a cute little frog, and you click to eat flies with your mouse cursor, pointing at them. There's only 3 screenshots, and it's not hugely illuminating of the gameplay, but... Oh, so let me see. You can use your tongue to grapple and swing around. That sounds really cool. That's a great idea. Using the tongue for the platforming like that? Yeah. I'm interested. Oh, there's a platform there that I didn't see. Ah. Okay, cool. Oh man. I need to find a key somewhere. Bring it back here. We're on the hunt. Okay, shell guys are immune to everything. Wow. That's a cool enemy. Oh. Ow, ow. Ah! What did that do? What did that do? Ah! Curses. Ow. Ah. No. Oh, the checkpoint saved my having hit that switch. But where is that going to get me exactly? Did the switch start this platform? Oh, did it do something else? This platform's not going to take me anywhere else at the moment. Or ever. Ah! Oh, great. Gibbon says that Froggle got overshadowed by Tag, but he liked Froggle better. Yeah, it looks really fun. I should try that one. Maybe I will do a Frog Games month. Oh, another door. Oh, I think it might not have saved my hitting that switch, so maybe that switch opens that door. And then there'll be a key behind the door that I can take back. Yeah, we've entered the Labyrinth Caves portion of the game. No, but... Surely it was in that state when I first got to it, and I hit it. Alright, I'll go back and check. Wait, was it here? Ah! Or was it here? Ah, another gate with a different key. Goodness me, what time is it? Alright, we might finish soon. 3 different gates, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm lost. Let me go through some other of these frog games that I found. So, talking of the ZX Spectrum as we were last stream, Cosmic Wartoad was a particularly interesting one, which the word cosmic and war tips you off that it's not your typical like Frogger game where you're playing as a realistic frog. It's like a space action game just with frogs, so that's fun. Sanrio, the makers of Hello Kitty and etc., My Melody, all that stuff, they have a frog character called Karopi, which is based on the sound that frogs make, karo. And he had his own game on the Super Nintendo, a whole RPG. Yikes, okay, it checkpointed me back at the start of this area. But he also appears in a lot of the Sanrio crossover games with Hello Kitty, like there's kart racing games and all sorts of things in the Hello Kitty series. Was he in Hello Kitty World based on Balloon Kid, GB? I don't remember. I don't think so. The other day at a, I suppose you'd call it an op shop, I saw a copy of Hello Kitty Roller Rescue on the PS2 and I was like, a roller skating adventure game. It's just like Jet Set Radio, but no, it's really not. Do not buy Hello Kitty Roller Rescue if you're planning to get a Jet Set Radio type game. It's really nothing like it. The fact that she's on roller skates, I don't think informs the gameplay very much, which is a shame. That's another bit of research I've been doing recently, possibly for a future stream, about roller skating things. I already did a bunch of extreme sports platformers last year, but this will be slightly different to that. Okay, there we go. There's that gate that I apparently forgot where it was, and there was indeed a key directly behind it, so now I can take this key to the upper gate, and then maybe get another key for the lower gate. Cool. That's progress, people. And you can't wall jump when you have something in your belly because your body's too big. Self-evident. Oh, what? Did it not save me getting this? No, it didn't. Alright. Where's that gate? Yeah, it wasn't here. Really didn't get a checkpoint after coming here. That's annoying. And I'm gonna die. Okay. Where was that other gate? I think it's up here to the right. Oh, no, it's just here. Great. Ah, I'm gonna die. Red key. No, not you. This one. Alright. Ah! Okay, save point is here. That's fine. Okay. What else have I got here? So, I mentioned Karopi, but in terms of Kero games, there's quite a few. So Keroro Gunso, also known as Sergeant Frog, is an anime series that got quite a few game adaptations. I mentioned Klonoa before. So Namco, after making a couple of Klonoa games on the handheld systems, WonderSwan and Game Boy Advance, they sort of adapted the gameplay style to a couple of Sergeant Frog games. So I think the ones that are based on the 3rd and 4th movies are basically Klonoa games in all but name, in terms of the gameplay style, with you picking up objects and throwing them to interact with the world in that way. So that's interesting. Although, having said that, the characters in Keroro Gunso aren't actually frogs. They're aliens that look like frogs or something. I don't know. I don't really... haven't looked into it yet. But that's on my list. When I get around to playing more Klonoa games, I'll play those two after that as well. And then there was an RPG, like an action RPG, which had a bunch of guest characters from other Namco games, including Klonoa. So they closed the loop on that one. Ah! I do like that the bomb explosion expands the light radius of the surroundings. That's a nice little effect. Oh! Yikes. Let me see. So the other Keto game that I saw, I have actually mentioned before. So on the Battle Golfer Yui stream, I was talking about other golf games that have a crazy theme that's not a realistic simulation. And one of them that I found was called what's it in English it's called Ribbit King. I think it's called Keto Keto King in Japanese, and you don't play as a frog, so in fact it doesn't really belong on a list of frog-led games, but it came up and it's a really weird thing. Instead of a golf ball, you hit a frog around, which is actually a national pastime around here in Queensland, where cane toads are a huge pest. Hitting them with golf clubs is a thing that people do. They're really nasty animals. Although I read recently that some native animals have found ways of killing them, which hasn't historically happened too much because they're so poisonous in a lot of different ways. But a particular kind of native marsupial, I don't remember which, has figured out that if they flip them over, basically kill them and like rip out their heart, that's the one thing that is edible, because a lot of their other organs are poisonous, and if native animals try to eat them, they will in fact die. But yeah, if they specifically target this organ and eat it and nothing else, then they get a nice little morsel out of it, and it's one less cane toad running around. So that's really cool. Yes, exploration. Dark caves is kind of a trope, and them being extremely long and outstaying their welcome is also a trope. What's this? It's purple. It's different. Fast lane. Did I find a secret? Like a warp or something? Or like a shortcut, I guess. Yeah, take that. But let me see. There was a couple of other ones that I came up with. Yeah. There's a... So Crazy Frog Racing definitely came up. Speaking of racing games. If you lived through the early 2000s, you probably have heard of Crazy Frog. I think it started as a ringtone. It was sort of a viral meme video before that really existed. But it was just like a frog making a weird noise. And it caught on enough to have not one but two racing games on, is it 7th generation consoles, like PS2? I don't know who the rest of the cast is, but there's this, I don't know if it's a music video or what, but there's this idea of the Crazy Frog riding a motorbike, but it's an invisible motorbike. So in the game, that's what he does. Oh, and he also is not wearing trousers. That's part of his character. Yeah, so he's like riding an invisible motorbike around, and there's some other characters, I don't know what they are. But man, like 2 racing games based on this stupid, just a meme basically, you know? It's very strange to think about. But Crazy Frog is a frog. And the last one I had here from my research was, that looked interesting to me, was the Brazilian comics character Sapo Zule, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, in the Portuguese accent. But if you know anything about 8-bit Sega products, you'll know that the Master System was incredibly popular in Brazil, long outstaying its life in other parts of the world. So there was a local distributor, Tectoy, who kept the Master System on life support long after Sega had abandoned it for later products like the Mega Drive. And so some games would get ports only in Brazil to the Master System, and other games that were on the Master System in other countries got localized specially for Brazil with Brazilian specific characters. So, for example, Gibbon mentioned Monster Boy before. Some of the Monster World games came out with a reskin of Turma de Monica, Monica's gang. Creepy cave creatures. This is the janitor of the cats. Sometimes frogs live in caves, but I don't. I'm trying to sneak in. I'm sorry to hear that. They put out a security bulletin. See, this is where conversation can come in handy. Okay, cool. Warning you that there will be cats up ahead that will try to kill me, but that's sort of something you would have assumed already based on prior experience with the game. But, oh, well, I got a free health refill, so that's fine. Like, you could look at that interaction and say that was essentially pointless, but it adds character to the game, and I appreciate that. And it wasn't too long. Gibbon says that seems to happen to a lot of Sega systems, honestly. Yeah. But in this case, yeah, Sapo Zule is a frog who, yeah, got a bunch of games that were not originally Sapo Zule games, is what I'm saying. So Psycho Fox, for example, is one that I brought up before. It was by a developer of something I streamed. I don't remember the details, but Psycho Fox was turned into a Sapo Zule game, and yeah, 2 or 3 other ones that were completely unrelated. They all became related in this way when they were localized there. I don't really know what abilities he has that make him frog-like, though. Oh, Midna's still sleeping at my feet. She's so cute. When she doesn't have her claws in your leg, you always forgive her. Mother of God, how is that possible? Now you see, because of their prior violent encounter, this guy is predisposed to violent actions against Frogatto. So that's interesting how the characters have these different motivations that inform their actions, but it's also taking a comedic bent to it as well. Yeah, I like this game. But this is taking a while, and well, I'll go through this area a little bit first to enjoy this music track, but I think I'll be wrapping up here pretty soon. I hoped I would get through the whole game, but that was very optimistic, it looks like. I saw a Let's Play online that was in 3 parts, and it added up to about less than 2 hours, so I figured maybe I could do it, but I can't. I'm sure the game's not going to end with confronting Milgram in this part of the game, surely. But I have no way of knowing, because this is a blind playthrough. I will say that we spent entirely too much time in those caves. I don't like dark mazes full of dangers. And I would prefer if there was a bit more visual variety to the stage types, to show off that beautiful art style that we've talked about so much. The opening portion of the game looked amazing. The lovely coastline and everything. When it gets dark and dank and everything, like, that's fine. It still has impeccable pixel artwork, but it's a matter of what you do with it, you know. Art design is a different thing to art style or fidelity. I don't know. Not sure what I'm trying to say, but hope you get the point. Okay, come on. Make this jump. Wait a little bit longer and then do... Oops. Well, maybe I can... Oh. Oh, well, the cycles might sync up. Okay, that works. Oh, okay. I don't know if the cycles do sync up, but this is very difficult now. A long plastic hallway. I tried some of these other doors, but maybe I didn't try them well enough. Yeah, I don't think I did. Oh no, Yoku blocks, are you serious? Ah boy, okay. Well, that wasn't too hard. Oh! Nasty. Yeah, helpfully for that list that I was just reading out, Moby Games has a category for frog-themed games. The Star Fox games are on there because of Slippy Toad, but I wouldn't, like, that's an example where a frog is part, like a small part of the makeup of a game. I was trying to talk about ones where frogs were the main, you know, the main attraction, the main character, the main theme. Frogs. Frogs. Amphibians. Boom. One of two gates. Okay. Warp. Show me that map, shall we? Oh no! That's one of the purple warps, so that's going to take me somewhere else. Basement Junction. I believe I've been here already. Oh! We have a new music track, that's nice. I like that. Yep. Yeah, there's a momentum system in this game. Oh! Disappeared just as I was making that jump. Okay. Ah, I did the same thing twice. Okay. Cool. Oh no. Wow, this game got tough. I was hoping they would introduce like a double jump at some point. Make some of this platforming a bit easier. Ah. That timing is tight. Okay. Jump. Yeah. Cool. That's what you had to do. Not easy. Ah, lucky I landed on that other platform. No. Oh good, checkpoint. So I want to land here and then go to here. Too early. Come on. Well, maybe I can make it to the other one. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I thought... No. I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. I guess I'll wait for another cycle. Because they all disappear. So if I go here... maybe I could just make that last one. Alright, I'll try that. Nope, see? It's too slow. So I'll wait for a different cycle. Because as we said, checkpointing really saves the exact state of the world as it was. So if I go... Oh, okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to land on the second platform and then do a dash jump from there. Okay, go. Cool. Oh, good grief. 4 shots, come on. That's almost all my magic. So we're looking for a second switch. Oh, look at that background. That is amazing. This is sort of what we saw before during that cutscene with Milgram, but very detailed moon. It's beautiful, and the clouds, stunning. And the star field is rotating in a different direction of the clouds in parallax. It's beautiful. Very well done. Okay. Ooh. Nope, you're dangerous. Ow. Well, at least they weren't instant death. Nope. Nope. Ah, nope. Nope. Okay. I'm out of notes. So if I don't find that second switch soon, I think I should stop. I've been going for 2 hours. Oh no, platforming. That's my least favorite thing in the world. Says I, who plays nothing but platform games. Oh, what? You won't even let me land on the top of a rotating platform? Very rude. Okay. Ah! Alright, that's it. I'm done. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this today. If you're impressed by Frogatto, then it's available on the Humble Store widget, purchasable from the Frogatto and Friends website. $10 US. Yeah, and it's a fun little game. Follow the development on Twitter or Discord. And also check out the Battle for Wesnoth by some of the same creators. If you're into tactic, strategy, RPG, fantasy games. So that's it. I'll see you... No, okay, so this is what I gotta say. Next week, I can't stream. Tomorrow, I can't stream. That's why I'm doing this today. Next week, there's like work stuff happening. Enjoy Frogatto's idle animation, by the way. So I haven't checked the dates yet, but I think it's like I won't see you for 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah, whatever. I'll let you know on Twitter or whatever. Bye. Okay, yeah, bye. Have a good life. See ya.